Hello everyone, it's NADI, and today we'll be testing out the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. As you gorgeous people know, this is about the product, not the people behind it. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy, okay? Thank you. I got this sexy little beast from either Ulta or Sephora. I really can't remember which, but I do know it was $42, which is pretty much the same price as their similar palettes. I do also know that they put, I think, 3 of the shades that were in the Modern Renaissance palette into this palette, so if that's something that upsets you or offends you, then probably not the palette for you. I don't know the Modern Renaissance palette, so I personally couldn't give a flying fuck, but know that you are paying for a few duplicates. I'm on the Sephora website, and this actually has some really damn good reviews. It's almost got 5 stars. That is impressive as fuck. In fact, it only has one 1-star review, which says, I ordered this palette online and it arrived broken. Sephora needs to package palettes better. Okay, I guess that is Sephora's fault, but it's not necessarily Anastasia's fault, it's just what happens during transit. But other than that, in the same rating, they say the palette is beautiful and the colors are incredibly gorgeous. Okay, so that review isn't really a reflection of the palette, but the ones that are say there is a ton of fallout, like so much fucking fallout. They wanted to love this, especially for $42, but there was more product on their face and on their counter than there was on their eyes. Quite a few people are saying this is just a basic ass palette and they have dupes for all of the shadows spread throughout their makeup collection. Even in the 5-star review, it looks like the main issue is with fallout, which I'm actually very glad that we went on here and looked at that because now I know to put powder underneath my eyes to catch that fallout. And honestly, any more fallout really isn't a big issue for me as long as it's not glittery as fuck or gonna ruin my pre-existing makeup. Anyway, Sephora says this is an everyday tonight palette with 14 shades including essential mattes and glam shimmer finishes. Ooh, each shade is fully pigmented and is easy to blend. The palette is luxuriously packaged with a large mirror and double-ended brush. And of course it's formulated without parabens, sulfates, or phthalates. And I would also like to note, it looks like every single shadow has dimethicone in it, which is a silicone-based product. It's what makes it smooth and glide on easily, so if you have a silicone allergy, definitely not the product for you. But let's go ahead and open this little bitch up. I'm very curious to see what it looks like. Ooh, yes, we have the very nice velvety feel. Oh my god, I feel like I'm rubbing a camel's hump. Ooh. Oh shit, yes. Damn, that's soft. All right, let's open it up. Oh, wait, no, that's not how you do it. Okay, let's open this up. Ooh, very pretty, but very, very neutral. And I definitely understand exactly what some of the people were talking about. I feel like I do have all of these shadows spread throughout my collection. But now we have them all in one palette, so that's fun. One thing, though, that immediately catches my attention is how similar a lot of these shades look. Like, these 2 shades look very similar, and looking at it, it just looks like a lot of the same. It might not be registering like that on camera because as I'm looking in my monitor, it does look pretty versatile, but in person, it just looks like it would muddy up really, really quickly. I do also appreciate the fact that they put both warm and cool tones in this palette, but you do have to be extremely careful because when you mix those, typically they turn muddy. And there's nothing wrong with that, you just have to be a little extra careful. But I am very excited to swatch and do a look with this little bitch. You guys know the song, are you ready? It's swatching time. First up, we have Tempera, Glistening, Orange Soda, Rose Pink, and Sultry, and while the metallics were absolutely stunning, the mattes were honestly just okay. We can never really determine how good a shadow is just based off swatches, so I'm not judging it yet, but I was honestly expecting a little more oomph to it. Next up, we have Bronze, Mulberry, Dusty Rose, Fairy, and Burnt Orange, and honestly, these mattes are a million times better than those lighter ones, so I'm thinking that the darker you go, the better they are. But one thing that I'm noticing with all of the shadows is that when I swatch them, there is a fuck ton of fallout. I'm not talking just a little bit of dust. I'm talking like huge amounts of fallout from the pan, which really makes me a little bit scared for when I dip a fluffy brush into this. And finally, we have Sienna, Rustic, Cypress Umber, and Noir, and these are actually pretty good. I did only swipe them one time on my hand. Very, very simple swatch, nothing fancy whatsoever. However, I will say that even though this palette does have decent pigment, it doesn't seem as good a quality as a Modern Renaissance palette. I don't own that palette to compare this to it, but I have used it several times. I've created looks using it, I've made love babies with it, and this just doesn't seem as velvety or buttery. Maybe it's just me, I could be totally batshit crazy, but this seemed to be missing that really smooth, silky feeling. And it just seems like the other palettes swatched nicer. I don't know, once again, swatches are a terrible way to judge a palette. It's very, very inconsistent, so let's go ahead and do a look and really put this to the test. And I thought we'd do something a little bit different today and try to switch things up because typically when I'm reviewing a palette and using it for the first time, I try to use every fucking shadow in the palette and it turns into a nasty ass looking monster mess. So instead, I'm gonna try to recreate a makeup artist's look who's used this palette, and today's look is going to be by Marie Appelt. I think that's how you say her name. I don't know, I'll put the picture, let's say right there, and then I will link her down below. The photo is absolutely gorgeous. I doubt we'll be able to make it look half as good as that, but we sure as shit will try. So let's start with some foundation. And for concealer, I'm going in with Kylie's Bone. And then just to make things a little bit more natural looking and less popping under the eyes, I also added a little bit of Kylie's Peanut. Then to contour, I'm using a few drops of Makeup Revolution in the shade C14. And then to set underneath the eyes, I'm gonna dip into the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette in the shade Lucid, and we're just gonna set that right under there. And then for the rest of the face, I'm just tapping some Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder into a fluffy brush. We're just gonna dust that shit all over the face. Yes. And since we put so much work into this face, let's go ahead and protect it with some translucent powder underneath the eyes to catch any of that Anastasia fallout. Oh, shit. I personally always like to use an eyeshadow primer. It really gives the shadow a good base to stick to, and so this one is NYX's shadow base. And according to Marie's photo, it looks like she used Tempera as a brow highlight. I think that I'm gonna set all over my eye with that shadow just to make sure the primer's set. So let's go ahead and dip into that with a nice fluffy brush, and ooh, wow, a lot comes off, holy shit. And I'm just gonna start right up there by the brow and kind of bring it down. Actually, let's get a bigger brush for that because that ain't doing much. There we go, okay. That is going on marvelously, and honestly, there is a little bit of fallout, but it's really no more than any other palette. But I'm just gonna take that and fluff it around all over the eye, create a nice little base for us to work with. Next on the crease, it looks like she blended out orange soda, and I am gonna have to alter this a little bit because I don't have as much eye space as she does, but we will try our best. Okay, so let's just blend that all over the crease. Ooh, that's nice. Very, very subtle color. Oh, damn, and that blends out really fucking easily. Holy shit balls. Okay, so we'll just lightly buff this out. I don't know what the fuck has gotten into me recently, but for some reason lately I've been loving the more simple looks. I don't know why, because I'm a glam ass hotel death. Next, it looks like she took a bit of a burnt orange in the crease as well, so I'm gonna take that on a smaller brush and we'll just rub that up and down. Oh yeah. Oh my god, that color is so pretty. I think I now understand why they made them all look so similar, because it's so fucking easy to transition between each shade and make it look so smooth. So let's go ahead and blend that out in the crease. And I'm gonna take it out a little bit farther than I normally would because it looks like we're gonna cut this hoe. And then I'm just gonna blend all that together with a nice fluffy brush. Oh, I like this. And then right on the lower part of the crease, she went in with Rustic. Oh, that's a really pretty grayish deep brown. Oh, I like that. Oh my god. Okay, honestly, I would be totally okay if we didn't cut the crease and just put a shimmer on my lid. No, let's cut the crease. One thing that is kind of annoying, which isn't the palette's fault at all, it's more because of my camera and lighting, is that it's blended up to my brow so beautifully, yet on camera it kind of looks like it just stops right there, but it is not like that in person at all. It is like ombre'd out to perfection. So I guess take note of that if you're gonna be around bright lights when you go out, or if you're using like flash photography, know that some of it does kind of disappear. Honestly, because it did kind of disappear, I would be cutting the crease like over all this, and there wouldn't be anything left. So I actually think that I'm not gonna cut the crease. Oh, I really wanted to cut the crease though. Maybe if we raise the darkness just a little bit, that'll help? I don't know. So let's go in and cut a crease with a little bit of Kat Von D Lock It Concealer. And I am gonna keep it kind of low, not like my traditional cut creases where they go really fucking high. There we go, definitely not as clean looking as hers, but whatever. And so over that, we're gonna lay down bronze. And since it does kind of have a sticky base to it, I'm not getting this wet. I'm just gonna lay it down and hope for the best. Ooh, okay. That's not bad. That's laying down really, really nicely actually. And I also wanna note, there is very, very little fallout on my cheeks. Like, actually, there's no fallout. Oh wait, there might be a tiny bit right there, but for the most part, like nothing. Maybe I'm just that good. I doubt it, but maybe. Oh, I take that back. Now that we're using the shimmers, there is fallout galore. Oh shit, and it's the glittery kind of fallout, the exact kind of fallout that we hate. See if we can dust some of that away. Okay, so this is not going as planned. Hers looks so much better than mine, but this is just going everywhere and it's not really laying down flat. So let's go ahead and try it with a wet brush. Spray it with some Cover FX setting spray. I think that's helping. I don't know, it's just applying it a lot thicker now, so it's like caking on. Huh. Okay, so I'm just gonna stop and we'll say that's user error. I clearly did something wrong. Don't know what it was though. But I have a feeling that once we add false lashes and some eyeliner, this will look banging second, so let's go ahead and finish up and do the lower lash. And for that, I'm gonna start with some orange soda, and then a little bit of burnt orange, and just a little tiny dab of rustic. And of course, we need a wing. For liner on the lower lash, I feel like you could definitely leave it as is, do a nude, do a brown. I always like to go in with black, so of course that's what I'm going in with. And then for the inner corner, it doesn't say what she used, but I'm guessing it's glistening, so let's try that. Ooh, that's pretty. And we'll do a little bit more contouring before we call it quits. And here we are with the final look. For lips, I ended up using a combination of Makeup Geek's Witty and Jeffree Star's Unicorn Blood. I actually really like this look. I don't think that we necessarily had to cut the crease. I think I probably could have laid the shimmer down without going in with concealer, but for the most part, this was really fucking easy to achieve. I also think that I could get this exact same look with at least 10 of my other palettes. But I think out of all my other palettes, this was definitely the easiest to use. Like, these blended out like a fucking dream. Like, if somebody was in a hurry and they wanted this look, they could easily do it in like 10 minutes. I think the swatches of this palette do not even compare to how they perform on a brush. To me, this is a really good palette. Is it the most groundbreaking, luxurious palette you'll ever find? No. I think the mattes are excellent in this. For me, there really wasn't that much fallout, at least on my face. There was a bit of fallout in the pan, but not a big deal to me. Where there was a shit ton of fallout, even on my face, was in the metallic shades. But if you put that setting powder underneath your eyes, it dusts away easily. Like, there is no glitter residue on my face whatsoever. Is this a palette that I would personally use frequently? Honestly, no, because the colors are so basic, but I could see a lot of people getting so much fucking use out of this. I'm just a really colorful person. But if you're wanting a perfect everyday palette, this is excellent because you can easily go from everyday to glam exactly like they say. Like, if you're going to work and you want a subtle look, you could definitely use these more lighter shades, but then if you're going out afterwards and you don't want to completely switch up your makeup, just top it with some of these darker shades and some metallics and you are set. I really like it. I mean, I'm not totally ecstatic over it because it is kind of a basic, boring palette, but I do think it is really good quality, and if you were to purchase this, I think it'd be a good investment that you wouldn't regret. So, do I recommend this palette? I do, but only if you don't have like a basic nude palette that has a black that you can smoke out and a few shimmers. And if you do have a palette like that already, I don't think there's much point in buying this. It is really good quality, so if you're looking for good quality, then absolutely go for it. So yes, I recommend it, but only if you need it. But there you go. Like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget, my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, is available at thepopluxe.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialNADI, and you can follow me online at thepopluxe.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye.